probably heard a lot of things about dogs that sound completely believable, like the idea that a wagging tail always means a happy dog, or that dogs instinctively know who the bad people are. But here's the thing, a lot of what people believe about dogs isn't actually true. Some of the most common dog behaviors are misunderstood, misinterpreted, or explained with myths that have been repeated for decades. And the surprising part, many dog owners still believe them. In this video, we're uncovering 6 dog myths you probably didn't even realize were myths. Myth number 1, a wagging tail always means a happy dog. When we see a dog wagging its tail, we think, that dog must be happy. But the truth is a little different. A wagging tail doesn't always mean a dog is happy. It simply means the dog is feeling a strong emotion. That emotion could be excitement, curiosity, nervousness, or even anger. Just like people can smile when they feel different things, dogs wag their tails for different reasons too. The important part is how the tail is wagging. If the tail is moving in big loose swings, and the dog's whole body looks relaxed, that's usually a friendly sign. You might notice this when a dog greets its owner or gets excited to play, but not all tail wags look like that. Sometimes a dog's tail is held very high and stiff, and it moves quickly in short little wags. That kind of wag can mean the dog feels tense or unsure. In some situations, it can even be a warning that the dog doesn't want someone to come closer. That's why it's important not to look only at the tail. Dogs talk with their whole body. Their ears, eyes, and posture all give clues about how they feel. A dog that is relaxed will usually have soft eyes, loose muscles, and a calm body. But if a dog is stiff, staring, or holding its ears back, it might be feeling uncomfortable, even if the tail is wagging. This is where people sometimes make mistakes. They see a wagging tail and assume the dog wants attention, but that isn't always true. The best thing to remember is this: a wagging tail does not always mean a happy dog. To understand a dog, you need to look at the whole body, not just the tail. Myth number 2. Dogs instinctively know who the bad people are. You may have heard someone say this before. Maybe a dog starts barking at a stranger, and someone says, dogs just know when a person is bad. It almost sounds like dogs have some kind of superpower. But the truth is a little different. Dogs don't judge people the way humans do. They don't think about good and evil or right and wrong. Instead, dogs are incredibly good at noticing small signals in the way people behave. Dogs pay very close attention to things like tone of voice, body language, and movement. If someone moves suddenly, speaks loudly, or acts tense, a dog may feel unsure or nervous. Dogs can also sense stress. When people feel scared or angry, their bodies release tiny chemical signals through sweat. Dogs have an amazing sense of smell, so they can pick up on these changes very easily. That means if someone is acting nervous, aggressive, or unpredictable, a dog might react by barking, backing away, or becoming alert. Scientists have even studied this behavior. In some experiments, dogs watched how strangers treated their owners. When a person refused to help the owner with a simple task, many dogs later avoided that person and preferred someone who had been helpful. So dogs can recognize trustworthy behavior, but that doesn't mean they have a magical ability to detect evil. What they are really doing is reading the signals people give off. Dogs are experts at observing behavior, and they quickly notice when something feels unusual or uncomfortable. So the myth isn't completely wrong, but the explanation is, dogs don't magically know who bad people are. They're simply very good at noticing how people act. Myth number 3. Dogs only bark when something is wrong. Many people believe that when a dog starts barking, it must mean danger. Maybe someone is at the door, or something scary is happening. But barking doesn't always mean there's a problem. Barking is simply how dogs communicate. Think of it like a dog's voice. Just like people talk for many different reasons, dogs bark for many different reasons too. Sometimes dogs bark because they are excited. For example, when their owner comes home, or when it's time for a walk. You might hear quick, happy barks as the dog runs around with lots of energy. Other times, dogs bark because they want attention. If a dog is bored or wants to play, barking can be their way of grabbing attention. Dogs may also bark when they see or hear something unfamiliar. Maybe a stranger is walking by the house, or there's a strange noise outside. In this case, barking acts like a warning. Another important thing to know is that some dog breeds naturally bark more than others. Certain breeds were originally trained to be guard dogs or alert dogs, which means barking was part of their job. Of course, barking all the time might mean a dog is bored or not getting enough exercise, but barking itself isn't a bad behavior. It's simply a dog using its voice to communicate. So the next time you hear your dog barking, remember this. It doesn't always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it just means your dog has something to say. Myth number 4. Dogs should eat only meat. Many people believe dogs are strict meat eaters. The idea sounds logical. After all, dogs came from wolves, and wolves hunt and eat other animals. So it seems like dogs should eat nothing but meat. But the truth is a little more complicated. Dogs are not strict carnivores like cats. Instead, dogs are omnivores. That means they can eat and digest both animal foods and plant-based foods. Over thousands of years, dogs have lived closely with humans. During that time, their bodies slowly adapted to the kinds of food people were eating. Scientists have even found that dogs developed extra genes that help them digest starches and carbohydrates. This means modern dogs can break down foods like rice, potatoes, and grains much better than wolves can. That's why most healthy dog foods are not made of meat alone. A balanced dog diet usually includes protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Protein helps build muscles and repair the body. Fats provide energy and support healthy skin and fur. Carbohydrates give dogs another source of energy and help support digestion. The most important thing is nutritional balance, not just meat content. Of course, dogs still need protein in their diet, and meat is an important part of that. But feeding only meat can actually miss other nutrients dogs need to stay healthy. Myth number 5. Dogs will grow out of bad behavior naturally. Many people believe this, especially when they have a young puppy. A puppy chews on furniture, jumps on guests, or pulls hard on the leash during walks, and the owner might think they'll grow out of it. But the truth is, dogs don't automatically grow out of behaviors. Dogs learn through practice and repetition. If they keep doing something again and again, that behavior becomes stronger over time. For example, imagine a puppy that jumps on people when they walk through the door. If the person laughs, pets the dog, or gives attention, the puppy learns something important. Jumping works. It gets them the attention they want. So, the puppy keeps doing it. Over time, that little puppy becomes a full-grown dog that still jumps on everyone who enters the house. The same thing can happen with other habits. If a dog pulls on the leash and still gets to move forward, they learn that pulling is effective. If they chew furniture while bored and nothing stops them, the chewing continues. This is why training is so important. Dogs need clear guidance to understand what behaviors are expected. Managing the environment helps too. Giving dogs appropriate toys, enough exercise, and mental stimulation can prevent many unwanted behaviors from starting in the first place. Without training and guidance, puppies often grow into adult dogs that still repeat the same habits they learned early in life. Myth number 6. Licking means kissing. Many dog owners believe this. When a dog runs up and starts licking your face or hands, it feels like a sweet moment. So it's easy to think your dog is simply showing love. But licking isn't just about affection. Dogs lick for several different reasons, and love is only one small part of the story. Some of this behavior actually comes from their instincts. When puppies are very young, they often lick their mother's mouth. In the wild, this encourages the mother to bring up food for them to eat. It's a survival behavior that dogs have kept even as pets. Dogs also use licking to explore the world around them. Their tongues help them gather information about taste and smell. Your skin carries sweat, salt, and many tiny scent signals. When your dog licks you, they may simply be learning more about where you've been and what you've touched. So when your dog licks you, it might be showing affection, but it might also be exploring your scent, calming itself down, or simply responding to the taste on your skin. In other words, it's a lot more complicated than just a kiss. Which of these myths surprised you the most? Or is there a dog myth you've heard that people still believe? Let us know in the comments below. We might feature it in a future video. And if you enjoy learning more about dogs and how their minds work, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video.